seems as though yesterday was our wedding, love. Oh, well, yes, it was. But you know what I mean. Everything happened so fast. No, I didn't mean to insinuate that I wasn't happy with it moving so fast. In fact, I'm overjoyed. I have a lot on my mind, love. There is much to do, and so much time to do it, it's a bit overwhelming. Like having a million doors side by side, and knowing you can pick any of them and find something happy. How do you choose which one? I suppose that's one way to look at it. No, I don't disagree. I'd be a fool to. Especially because I don't exactly know what I would choose myself. Nor do I have a solution that would lead to a better door. Is there even a solution in something like this? That is more of the question. But, love, I must know. Today starts the rest of our life together, our story. So where would you like the very first chapter to be? I was thinking we could have a honeymoon, well, anywhere. There's quite a few options, but I wanted to give you the chance to choose for us. Otherwise, I could always make some suggestions, and you stop me when we get to one. Oh, does that sound right? All right. What about going on a cruise? It's something I've always wanted to do but never had a chance to. And I've got just the cruise liner. It's actually one that was manufactured by my family's name. The company's under us, that is. I'm sure I could pull some strings and reserve it just for us. I guess that is a bit over the top, isn't it? Would you like it to be more ordinary? I can appreciate that. Shall we go to our own private island? I can't imagine how fun it would be to show you the island estate. It's a vacation home that my father made with some of his earnings from being a hero. It's quite impressive. It looks rather traditional, too. I'm sure you'll love it. So does that sound good, love? I could suggest numerous other ones. There's the mountaintop villa, and even the one that's the experimental one in space, and, well, if you're all right with it, we can definitely do it. Perhaps you're right. Sometimes it's the extravagance that gets in the way of things. Going above and beyond, or going out of one's way, is not always the best way of finding a solution. I've learned something today, love, and it's thanks to you. So, shall we prepare for a honeymoon to remember? Somehow I knew you'd say something like that. But that's one of the many, numerous reasons that I love you. And I understand that you really don't like the heights, so it's just as well that we can go by boat. Though I'm sorry that you have a fear of heights. To be honest, I have an irrational fear too. Though it's probably not what you think it is. No, you don't need to ask. It's quite simple, really. I have an irrational fear of eating too much food and having my stomach burst. It's why, whenever we've gone on dates that have to do with eating, I'm very particular with my portions. Perhaps it's because of a story I was told when I was little. Sort of a parable to coax children away from gluttony. And the person in the story, they ate so much that it burst open, their stomach that is. It kind of always stuck with me, so I guess little Shoto was someone who was a bit too trusting of stories. But still, I don't really find it to be the worst one, so I'm thankful. It could always be worse. What if I had a fear of fire or a fear of ice? I think I would be quite dissatisfied. So other than a fear of heights, do you have something that troubles you, love? Something that is deep-seated in the past? I wonder because sometimes when I look in your eyes, it seems like there's still pages unturned, things to learn, and more mysteries about you. It's enticing, but I want to make sure I'm not caging you into some kind of a box that you feel you must act within. In fact, that's one of the things that I've never liked about constraints and expectations. When you make them very specific, it often makes you disappointed. Much as I was to my father. A disappointment because he put his expectations for me within the box of what he wished for. And because I went for my own dreams and goals, he deemed me a failure. But truth be told, I don't really take it to heart, and he's warmed up in recent years, so it's proof that even people as hard-headed as him have some amount of freedom to them. I appreciate freedom. I cherish it, actually. Though I cherish order just as much. So I guess you might say it's balance that I choose. More than wild chaos or more than stringent order. It's about some balance in between. You've taught me a better balance of things since I met you. It was more or less something that never really dawned on me. That I was too rule-bound. That previously with my father I was living just to spite him, in a very constrained box. It's much thanks to you that I escaped it. My friends helped me realize and be a better person, but you helped me much beyond that. Looks like we're here, love. Your hand, please. I can't have you tripping outside of the car. I wouldn't want you to be embarrassed. Up you go. And follow me. It is as you wished. A beautiful cruise liner for our honeymoon. Though it's just the start of things, so I hope you're ready for a very wondrous experience. No, love, don't worry about it. I got us a very luxury room, and more than that, the food here is exquisite. Do watch your step when getting on the boat. It does move slightly, so you'll have to pardon that. Shall we go exploring? I think it will be quite fun. Let's be off then. This ship was designed with cutting-edge technology, not only to be an anti-villain cruiser, but a cruise ship at that. So it has a lot of mixture of well, we won't get into it too much, but let's just say this place will be very protected for our stay on it. If a villain was to try and start something, there's quite a lot of pro heroes that are paid to watch as sort of bodyguards, so putting that aside for a moment, some of the chefs are widely known. There's even one with a quirk that makes him able to taste myriads of flavors and even create new ones that never existed before. So I hope you don't mind. I got us a table, the chef's table, so we can watch them at work. I know, perhaps it's not as normal as you wished, but I had to do something to make sure my dear love has something above the rest. Consider it the honor of the Todoroki name. I can't suffice at making things just acceptable, you see. Anyways, enough about that. Shall we explore the personal quarters? As you see, they don't quite have a penthouse on the boat, but this is the closest I could find to it. It's a specialty room that sits above where the helm of the ship is. So below us, quite a ways down, is where they're commanding the ship from. We can see the entire ship and the ocean for miles, in all directions. The windows allow us to see in 360 degrees, but they're tinted, so no matter what we do in here, nobody else will know. That'll come in handy later. Anyways, don't think too much about that. We've got other things to explore. Now, this next area, it's sort of a entertainment room. There's going to be plays, concerts. In fact, I took the honor of not studying the schedule of it, so I don't even know what's coming next. It shall be a surprise for both of us. It's quite a beautiful room, and massive, and probably the one where most normal guests will spend their time, given the myriad of different foods and little pastimes here and there. Not to mention the pride and joy, the room that follows this one. One of the biggest arcades ever crafted. It's 7 stories tall and over 100,000 square feet. There's over 50,000 different games to choose from, as well as a few game rooms as well. The contents of which you'll have to find out. So, there's also one last place to show you. Well, several others. Firstly, the shopping district where you can get some exquisite stuff. And then the last would be the upper decks where you can complete with a fully fleshed out amusement park, including a water park as well. There's even wave pools on a boat. How interesting is that? But putting parlor tricks aside, would you join me for a lovely evening in the theater? There's a welcoming show to all the guests, and if we get there early, we can get great seating for it. Sounds great, my love. The show was quite breathtaking, wasn't it? I especially liked the portrayal of All Might. Perhaps it's cliché, but he really is an amazing hero. And the play, it did him justice. I never knew his story when something like that. But I suppose adding two and two together, it's not unbelievable for it to be something like that. How much did you know before we went in? I kind of feel like we went more to a museum than a performing arts, as the story was at least mostly accurate, I assume. Shall we go to the park? Now that the sun isn't high in the sky, I figured it would be quite a lot nicer. The temperament of the heat is down, and the ship will be leaving port soon. Then, perhaps it's befitting of me to say, last one's theirs and icy hot. I guess you're the icy hot today. There. It's not so bad, is it? Though I don't think you fit the description enough, so... Well... If I could share my quirk with you, I would. Though I don't know that it would be very useful for you. Putting that aside, let's enjoy our day. A day free of quirks, and a honeymoon that just begun. This slide here. It looks a bit intimidating, doesn't it? You have to climb up so high. Are you sure you're okay with it? How about we go down together? Alright, you sit here, and I'll sit here. Hold on tight. And if the worst comes to worst, I'll save us, okay? I didn't say that for any reason, just in case. You seem to be grabbing pretty tight. Don't tell me. This ties into a fear of heights too. Never fear, love. I'll make sure we're out of this extra fast. I'll just use my ice power to make sure the water freezes in front of us, and then it'll go by even quicker. You don't want me to do that. All right. Well then. Let's try it. See? That wasn't so bad. Wait. Darling. Are you okay? Darling, stay with me. Hey. You gave me quite a scare back there. How are you feeling now? It seems like perhaps you passed out once we hit the water at the end. I guess maybe we were going a bit fast, but... Well, sorry if I pushed you into it. I just thought that it would be fun to do something like that with you. Though I guess it didn't turn out great. It's alright. I've prepared dinner in our room. No one will bother us here, and luckily, not many people saw you. So it's quite alright. So I prepared some of your favorites. Why, this table practically has some of everything. All done as the chef's specials. I hope you don't mind. I took the liberty of making sure there was nothing too obscure, since sometimes people get a sensitive stomach when they're at sea for what I assume to be your first time. Never fear, it's mine as well. I couldn't feel better. Though, that scare from earlier, That almost upset my stomach. It made my heart leap, and it made me realize that I want to keep you safe even more. But also that I can't let the small things get to me. So, my love, shall we enjoy the meal? It's as delicious as they say. The fresh fish and just the taste of everything blending, spices and all. It's exquisite. It practically melts in your mouth. It's been a while since I've had things this fresh. And that's not to say that the Todoroki estate serves hodgepodge food or anything, but perhaps I've grown too accustomed to the foods that they serve. Do you like it? I think my favorite part of this meal is gazing into your eyes, seeing you jump to try new things. It's refreshing, to say the least. Oh, my darling. How can you be so cute even when eating something? So many people are trying to be graceful with their habits, and it seems to come so naturally to you. You are enamoring, breathtaking, and a work of art in life. It makes the meal taste much better, enjoying it with you. And your eyes like glistening starfire. So, won't you relax a bit? I don't want you to overexert yourself. So come with me. Now you can get a proper look. Last time was just a tour. Now this is where we'll be staying for the next 7 days. At least until we get to the estate. The island resort is fully staffed and quite an amazing place. I think you'll enjoy it once we get there, but it is quite a ways away. So, my love, would you care to join me in bed? I understand. You've been resting for a while, but are you sure you're fully recovered? That's just fine. Well, would you like to do something else? You see, there's a bit of a tradition with honeymoons, I hear. That, well, there's much love to be had. And with you, darling, I want to make you feel amazing after my blunder today. So, baby, won't you embrace me like you mean it? Go ahead, hug me as hard as you can. I won't break, but it feels like when I hug you back, it feels like I'm afraid. Afraid that I'm too forward with my desires. Afraid that my embrace will somehow break your elegant frame. And also afraid, well, that you might not be interested in my advances. You see, I may seem like a beast on the surface, and maybe I am to a certain extent. Maybe all true men are. But that beast contends with so many different feelings that, well, I never want the beast to scare you, to make you feel like you're less than the very most precious thing to me. You, my dear darling, are the only one I'll ever call baby, and the only one that I want to spend so much time with, to enjoy and share life with, to inherit the Todoroki name. You have earned the rights to all of that and so much more. Not because you married me, but because you're worth so much more. Your lips are so sweet, my love. So enticing that every time I take my lips away from yours, it's like a magnetic connection and draws them right back. Something tells me our little kissing session had more of an effect on you than last time. No. We're just getting started, love. So why don't you get a little closer? Unless you'd like to have things be a little bit more spiced than they usually are. That look in your eyes seems complicated. Like you're saying yes and no at the same time. To be honest, I've never been an expert of understanding such notions, but I'm going to take a wild guess and propose that there's been enough words said already. Actions speak louder. Put your hands against the glass, love. Yes, just like that. Now, I don't want you to move. Just relax and put that cute little rump of yours out. I think there's times where I had to show you why I'm your man. And this is one of them. You're my baby, so I can't just let you have desires unanswered. The way you shriek and quiver a bit with every single touch. It's enticing, and as your eyes no doubt have wandered, you can see how much effect you have on me as well. Love. It's wonderful seeing you like this. Does it excite you? Being pushed up against a window like this? Where all of those people, if the window wasn't tinted, could see you exposed like this in nothing more than your underwear. Does your irresistible cuteness know no ends? I thought, what better way to make you feel like you're mine than to take you right here, right now. Yes, love, don't dare to move. You'll follow my orders. They're your new laws. Do we have an understanding? Do you understand your husband's demands? Good. Go ahead. Push yourself against that window and shake your rump a bit. You've got to entice me with it. Go ahead, do your best. I'm sure you can do better than that. Consider that a bit of punishment for you. Yeah, I understand very well that you've been naughty. Don't tell me you want me to touch you here, do you? Baby, you're gonna have to be more honest than that. Go ahead. Let yourself wander. Let those hands of yours wander as they please. I'm curious of how much of a show you'll put on. I'm gonna sit in this chair here and wait until you've enticed me enough. Then we'll see what the next step is. Oh yes, darling. Just like that. To see you playing with yourself like that. It's so good a start. But you can do better, can't you? Show me. Where do you want it? Go ahead. Don't be afraid. Be as lewd as you can be. Who's gonna judge you, love? You're just here with your husband. In a room so high above it all, no one would even think of looking. Oh, baby, that's a good show you're putting on. Not bad at all. You're really trying your best, aren't you? And look at what a little mess you're making. Those sticky little trails. I can only imagine what's going on in that brain of yours. But if you're going to be a good and obedient one, you're going to have to try a little harder to get my attention. I like that. It makes me think that you're thinking something lewd, though. I wonder if that's the case. Well, there's only one way to find out. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about what's going on in that little head of yours? Show me how innocent you're not. I've learned it firsthand, and perhaps it's my fault, but you certainly haven't a problem with it. So what's in that dirty little mind of yours? Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to hear. Why don't you say it again? Exactly what you want. You were so shy just moments ago. Is it your frustration, your tension, your desire that overpowers your sense of embarrassment? Well, lucky to you, I might just get out of this chair for you. If you show me just a bit more. Put yourself on display, like a prized possession. I want to see everything. Yes, just like that. Good. Now we must get to the truth of it all. What is it you want from me, my lovely? Oh, I see. So you can be honest and obedient. Good, good. You've certainly been quite entertaining to me, so I feel it's only fair that I uphold my stature as your husband and give you something equally pleasing. Now it's time for me to take from you the responsibility of putting on a show. Put your hands back against the glass and don't move. You're now in my care, and I will do precisely as I please with you. Are we clear? Good. What a fine rear you have. It's enticing as well as alluring. There's many words that could be perfect for it, but I think I like how grabbable it is. Yes, love. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Right here. Does it tickle? Or is it something a bit more? Yes. Don't be afraid, love. I'll take good care of you. I see. You're not going to make this quite as easy. You're squirming. It's difficult to contend with. You seem warmed up already, so I have to. Yes. Just like that. It always stirs you up, doesn't it? The way we entwine and entangle. No, don't you dare tell me to stop. I'm making the commands tonight. Damn. This is difficult, love, but I'm not giving up yet. Don't move a muscle, love. Not yet. I want to sit down and watch you. Watch the aftermath of everything. What's the matter, baby? Don't you want me to see you? See you after I've laid claim. Laid claim all over you. It's practically my duty as your husband to see you like this. It's refreshing. Maybe it's not the most refined, but sometimes the unrefined is the best. A combination of art, of passion. I cannot wait for what our future holds, my love. You're my darling, from now until forever. But why don't we get you cleaned up? We can enjoy perhaps a shower together. Alright, love. Right this way. The shower's designed after a natural waterfall. I believe it's from a named waterfall in the Caribbean, though I'm not entirely familiar which one. Though, it's quite amazing being able to enjoy such time with you, and I couldn't honestly ask for a better honeymoon. So, my love, will you humor me with a bit of a silly request? Take that beautiful body of yours and give me a hug. That's the spirit. Do you like it when I pat your head like this? It's very comforting from my perspective. I hope it's equally as comforting to you. More than that, I very much enjoy seeing your eyes light up. It's refreshing beyond even cold water on a hot day. Perhaps that's too outlandish or poetic, but I think it describes things perfectly. Oh, my love, you flatter me. But I am still learning my place as your husband. But I couldn't be happier with everything. So I also had a question with you. Am I too much? Do I seem like I'm doing things for the wrong purpose or too hastily? Are you sure, my love? It's quite all right of you, to be honest. In fact, I have so much that I want to say about it. So much that I want you to be able to freely express as well. And while we're a couple of only a few days, it's been exactly what I dreamed it to be. Perhaps it's an unpopular opinion, but from a very young age, even as a little boy, I always wanted to get married and have someone to call my own. You fulfilled that desire tenfold, 100-fold, no, 1,000, more than I could even count. It makes me feel happy, warm inside, lucky, and so many other things. And it also makes me want to get to know you even more. They say you can learn something new about someone every day, no matter how much time you spend with them. And I happen to agree with this. So, would you be willing to just sit and talk in the shower for a while? It's enticing. And after expunging our carnal, after relieving ourselves from earlier, it's important that we have some time to be friends as well as partners. I guess if I were to put it into words, it's that I don't want to just love you. Love is fine, but there seems to be so much marriage that's focused only on love and skips right over like. I want to like and love you. So it's important that we're not only best friends, but true loves. To be honest with you, love, complacency is one of the things that scares me the most. It's not that I fear losing you. I fear losing a spark. I fear ever being obscure or feeling as though I can't talk to you about anything. I want us both to be free, to understand that we're not just marriage partners, but something more. Sorry if that's too greedy of me. What do you think of it, love? I see. Well, I'm glad that you have such a deep and interesting take on things. I would think nothing less of someone being my life partner and all. It's refreshing. And besides that, you're very creative. When you talk about things and how you express yourself, it always makes me feel as though you think things through. That you don't cut corners and that you're not only hardworking, but have an interesting take that most people don't. Perhaps it means your way of thinking is just plain unique. Or at least that's how I take it. That's how it appears to me. So I must ask, never change. Never change, my love. And of course, I will never change either. Only for the better, if anything. I'll always be The Shoto Todoroki that you met that day after class. And besides, no matter how the years treat us, there's always something new. Like this right here. All around us, the surroundings may be different, but the most fascinating thing in all of this ship has been what I've learned from you, what I've learned about you, and about your tendencies. I suppose that is true as well. But won't you humor me with just a bit more? When you look at me, your husband, and you gaze into my eyes like this, and I get real close, like this. What do you feel, love? Does your heart race? Does your mind go blank? Because those things happen to me every time I get near you. So, why don't we spend our time getting to know each other even further? Do you feel there's anything about me that you can't trust or that bothers you? Please, be as honest and blunt as you can. I appreciate the honesty. I am still working on my ability to cut loose, so to speak. It probably is difficult because my past. When you're raised with a checklist of things that you're expected to do and nothing else, there is no room for anything else. To suddenly have it has been refreshing but also difficult. I try very hard to make sure that you always feel comfortable and that I'm not being some kind of a robot. I hope I don't come across that way. Oh. Well, I'm glad you can see through it. Even the way I speak, sometimes I wonder if I should change it. Admittedly, it's sort of a habit. I'm not the most expressive person with my words. In fact, if not to you, I tend not to express very much at all, for fear of misunderstandings, and in general not being my forte. About you? Yes. There is one thing that bothers me about you. It's quite evident every time you speak of yourself. You seem to have quite the doubts about you. Your lack of confidence is worrying. It almost seems like there's something holding you back. Maybe somebody once told you you couldn't do something or put you down. But no matter what the case is, please put that aside and know that if someone like me can see through this, then it's not just something that is quite so simple. You are amazing, but it'll only ever have an effect if you yourself accept yourself as amazing as well. I hope and pray that you'll give yourself a chance to see you as I see you. It's not very easy to look at yourself and say, I am no failure. because it takes a lot, facing the mirror. But I want you to try. Do it for me. Tell yourself that you're going to love who you are. That would make me happy. Happy beyond any gift, beyond any vacation, beyond any physical ailment or any kind of physical favor. I want you to love yourself, even a fraction of how much I love you. You've taught me to love myself just a bit more. You've been supportive and kind, wonderful and caring, and frankly, I can't get enough of you. Not now, not ever. But to hear you say something bad about yourself or to lose confidence, it wounds me deeply. So please, don't take this as a notion that you shouldn't speak your mind. Always speak how you feel, dear. But never, ever stop trying to accept yourself as beautiful, as wonderful, and as perfect as you are. We are all human. We are imperfect, but that is precisely what makes us unique, precisely what gives us our spark. And I want you to accept it. That with my love comes a responsibility that you must work to consider yourself worth it. You are no one's waste. You are no one's failure. The only one who can make you believe in you. It's not me, but yourself. Love, won't you at least consider it? I understand it's difficult, but I never want to hear a day that comes that you don't have any confidence left. Maybe it will take a year. Maybe it will take a lifetime. Maybe it will take 2 days. I don't care how long. I'll stick with you through it all. But if you love me as you say you do, won't you please grace me with the feeling of knowing, the sanctuary of understanding that my true love, the apple of my eye in front of me, will be safe and happy with who looks back in the mirror. Why don't you practice right now? I'll even say it myself. This lovely, lovely darling is amazing, beautiful, irresistible, and one of the most wonderful people I've ever met. Well, to be honest, I can't even say one of the most. You are the most wonderful. And now, well, why don't you try saying something? Face the mirror and say something good about yourself. It would make me very proud of you. Yes, that's the spirit. You just have to keep thinking that way. The more times you do, the less times you'll be able to feel as bad about yourself or lose confidence. The more nice you say, the more easy it is to believe. Isn't it kind of funny how we humans work? In order to accept ourselves, the only one who can make us do so is ourselves. Others can encourage, but nothing more. I hope I've encouraged you just a little. It dawned on me earlier that perhaps maybe some of the problems you faced in the past that we've discussed prior were due to you considering yourself lesser, considering yourself badly. I never want you to again. And I know it's unrealistic to think that it will be gone in one fell swoop. But I hope to see you trying. I will stand by you with it all. And I will suffer any pain required, any danger, face any monsters or villains. There's nothing I won't do to prove you're worth it. So promise me, just this once, that you won't give up on yourself, ever. Thank you, love. That means the world to me. Stay strong, and I will be there with you. Come here. Get a nice place between my arms. Love, I will protect that smile of yours. And I will be with you forever.